Give me 6 minutes and I'll show you how I made this skirt belt.
In audio.
Let's get started. I'll try to make this as easy as possible. This is the original tulle skirt belt I made. I use organza material, some tulle, elastic band, and a buckle for the band. That is it. Like most of my projects, I just experiment and I end up coming out with something decent. So I'm going to walk you through what I did. You want a good amount of organza. This is the base of our skirt and we're going to sew our tulle on this. I measured from my waist where I wanted the elastic band to be down to my feet and then just used the circumference to see if it wrapped around my belly, and it did, and that's it. You don't want it to close all the way because it is a belt. On the original skirt, I used 6 rows of tulle, so 6 layers or tulle. And for the tulle that I'm using, it was about 10 to 12 yards in total. It just depends on how full you want it. The length of it up and down was like 11.25 inches. To make it easier, I folded each layer, and so it was total length of it was like 22 and a half. And then I folded it over on itself and then pinned it to my fabric. However long your tulle will be for your layer, you want to add that plus a half because we're going to gather it. So for example, if the width of my material was 43 inches, I'm going to use 43 inches of tulle plus an additional 21 inches. That's half of that. I hope that makes sense. You want to leave an inch or inch and a half space from the top. You don't want to start immediately at the top of your fabric. Every 2 inches or so, you could pinch the fabric and pin it down like I'm doing here. Pinch the fabric and pin it down, and you could see how it's kind of giving you that ruffle effect. That's it. Instead of having to do it with the machine, you can manually do it like how I did it here. And then you just sew it down to the fabric. That's it. It's very simple. Again, you would gather like a little pinch of the fabric, pin it down, and do that like every 2 inches. Pinch it, pin it down, pinch it, pin it down. Once it's sewn down, now we get that little wavy ruffle effect. It's not too big, and that's how I like it. Okay, so the second way to do this is to get your material, again, the same layer, length and width, and you're going to use the longest stitch on your sewing machine, and you're going to gather the material. So you just sew and just pull on it a little bit, not too much. This is how I like to do it. As far as the layers, again, you measure the distance between each layer you want. So if you start and you said you want like 5 inches between each layer, you layer them and you pin them down and you just stack them to your desired, length and distance. That's all dependent on you. I'm just showing you how I did this. The first technique was we did the pinch and pin technique and then we sewed it down, or you could do the gathering version and then you sew it down. Make sense? Once you have all your layers sewed down on your panel or material, now it's time to attach the elastic band. And remember, I told you to leave a couple of inches at the top. Take a piece of the elastic band, measure your waist, stretch it out a little bit. You want it to be a little taut. Attaching the buckle is very easy. Loop one end of the band onto the elastic and then sew it down. Pin the left side of the skirt and the right side of the skirt, making sure to pin the elastic to the front side of your skirt where your layers are. And then you're going to pin down the middle of the skirt. Next, you're just going to sew and pull your elastic while you sew. Please be careful. All you have to do is sew down your skirt to your elastic band. I'm pinning it as I go, okay? But as you can see, I'm stretching the band and I'm taking my time. You don't want to break your needle. Stretching and sewing. Pulling it taut like this will also kind of give you a ripple ruffle effect on your layer, at least for the top layer. And I just sewed it down, and as you can see, since I sewed the elastic band to the front side of the skirt where the ruffles are or where the layers are, now when you put it around your waist, it's on the correct side. Once that's done, you're going to attach the other side of your buckle to your belt. And then that's it. That is the skirt tutorial. And then you get to rock your skirt belt. I absolutely love this project, and I will continue to try to do this and get better at it and make other colors. Let me know what y'all think.